President of the European Commission, Ursula of Underlying, is back in Davos and shares a clear message of support to Ukraine.
In Ukraine, intense fighting continues over the city of Bakhmut, and the UN finally sends experts in the hope of securing nuclear power plants. Europe braces for winter as ice and snow sweep across the north of the Iberian Peninsula, bringing travel chaos.
Excited to have us with you today.
The President of the European Commission, named the most powerful woman on the planet last year, is in Davos and showed her full support to Ukraine yet again. In a long-awaited speech, Ursula von der Leyen delivered a message that she hopes will be heard in both Moscow and Kyiv.
There will be no let-up in our steadfast support to Ukraine, from helping to restore power, heating and water, to preparing for the long-term effort of reconstruction. And to reaffirm that support, we announced yesterday that the Commission is delivering 3 billion euros of financial support. This is the first tranche of our 18 billion support package for 2023, the largest ever macrofinancial assistance to a third country.
European aid has helped Ukraine resist the Russian invasion through funding and military supplies. It has also helped the Ukrainian economy and infrastructure, key targets of the invasion.
Keeping European leaders awake at night, the Inflation Reduction Act. The massive subsidy scheme carried out by the US administration puts investments in Europe at risk by diverting them to the other side of the Atlantic. Speaking here at the World Economic Forum in Davos, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced a plan up her sleeve, a new Net Zero Industry Act that would, quote, simplify and fast-track permitting for new clean tech production sites. Ursula von der Leyen made it clear that a common financial instrument would be needed.
To avoid fragmenting of the single market and to support the clean tech transition across the whole Union, we must also step up EU funding. For the medium term, we will prepare a European Sovereignty Fund as part of the midterm review of our budget this year.
The crucial question, though, how to balance EU money and national state aid, whose rules have been already loosened with a temporary crisis framework. 6 countries, Denmark, Finland, Ireland, the Netherlands, Poland and Sweden, are urging the European Commission to exercise great caution. State aid can lead to a so-called subsidy race and the fragmentation of the internal market.
Just the state aid can't help all the country, but just someone like, for example, Germany or France that have more space, more possibility. So what we think it is now necessary, and it is necessary now, not too late, is a new recovery fund.
Some EU member states have more fiscal wriggle room than others. They can afford to subsidise their own industrial sector. Germany and France, for example, represent 77% of the 672 billions of state aid approved under the current temporary crisis framework.
L'hydrogène, les batteries électriques,
hydrogen, electric batteries, solar panels and semiconductors should be included in a list of strategic industrial projects for which state aid should be more massive, both by subsidies and by tax credit.
The Commission will present concrete proposals by the end of January to feed discussions at the next European Council meeting taking place in February. The clock is ticking. Maeve McMahon, Euronews, Davos.
In Ukraine, fighting around the eastern frontline city of Bakhmut remains intense, with both sides determined to hold their ground. To advance, Ukraine desperately needs tanks of the type the UK has just announced it will send. Poland is poised to send a squadron of German-made Leopard 2 tanks, but that needs Berlin's approval. At the World Economic Forum, the Polish president expressed his hope that it would come soon.
Or not. The pressure of German political stage and German public opinion is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So I hope that the result of all that elements, all that elements will result in this very, 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 very needed decision.
In another development, the UN's atomic agency, the IAEA, has finally started deploying experts at 4 sites to ensure their safe operation. The idea is to leave a group of experts behind in each location to support Ukrainian staff.
Working hand in hand with our Ukrainian hosts to facilitate some technical support, delivery of equipment, to make sure that all these facilities can continue running normally and without any problem.
Ukraine also needs economic support. That's what EU finance ministers have been discussing. They're aiming to find ways to secure long-term, sustainable financial backing for the war-ravaged country. Spain and Portugal are braced for further wintry storms after heavy snowfall across the north of the Iberian Peninsula. They're part of a pattern of severe weather systems throughout much of Europe. Strong winds and southern downloads of snow brought chaos to travellers in mountainous areas of northern Spain. It's a wonderful night, but we're stuck here. Without snow tyres, we can't get through. France, Ireland and the UK have also been hit with an icy blast, including Cornwall in western England. The cold snap comes just after unseasonably warmer weather across much of the continent that resulted in a different kind of problem in Finland. Higher than average winter temperatures there have accelerated the melting of snow, which has combined with recent heavy rains leading to widespread flooding. Water levels have risen sharply in parts of the west and south of the country.
After 30 years in hiding, Italy's #1 fugitive was arrested on Monday in Sicily. Mafia mobster Matteo Messina Denaro is considered the top boss of Cosa Nostra and is claimed to have once said he filled a cemetery all by himself. Despite his filmic reputation, which conjures images of The Godfather, the 60-year-old's arrest didn't require a car chase. He was captured by police at a private hospital in Palermo. The Italian Prime Minister flew to Sicily on Monday, where she visited a monument to the assassinated anti-mafia prosecutor Giovanni Falcone, one of the mobster's victims. Giorgia Meloni personally congratulated the Sicilian authorities on the arrest and said, "This is a great victory for the state."
Days after appearing in a UK court to deny allegations of sexual assault, Kevin Spacey has picked up a Lifetime Achievement Award in Italy. In his first official speaking engagement since the #MeToo era allegations, the embattled actor visited the city of Turin, where he was honoured for his contribution to cinema. This comes after Spacey appeared at London's Southwark Crown Court by video link on Friday to deny 3 counts of indecent assault, 3 counts of sexual assault, and 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent. Spacey has previously denied 5 other allegations in the UK.
The World Economic Forum's co-founder presented the British actor Idris Elba and his Somali-Canadian wife Sabrina Dower Elba with Crystal Awards to honour their commitment to food security.
They need your guidance. The poor of this world are not just looking for aid and handouts. They are looking for investment. Investment in people, in nature, in innovation, in partnership.
The Elbas are goodwill ambassadors for the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development and give voice to the needs of small farmers from poorer countries. Davos gave them a chance to appeal to some of the richest investors in the world.
Tennis Australia has banned Russian and Belarusian flags at the Australian Open tournament after an incident during a match between a Ukrainian and a Russian player. The decision was made after members of the crowd unfurled a Russian flag when Ukraine's Katerina Bindel was playing Russia's Kamila Rakimova and in a men's tie involving Daniil Medvedev. Ukrainian fans claim Russian supporters were taunting Bindel and say they alerted police and security. Moscow has called the decision an unacceptable politicisation of sports.